Chapter 1170. The manor owner likes mazes. The large tree seemed to emit a call, and the ancient castle suddenly became quiet. Lin Moyu walked through it, feeling a bit strange. The castle was already very quiet, but now it had become even more silent. Since he left the garden, he hadn't encountered any danger.
Something feels off.
Lin Moyu continued along the castle's corridor and finally arrived at the hall. The hall was over 200 meters long and more than 100 meters high, very spacious. It wasn't spacious due to any formation but was a real space. There were no signs of battle here, indicating that the great battle back then didn't affect this place. The hall was very quiet, and at the main seat in the front, there was a beautifully crafted throne.
A skeleton throne?
Seeing the throne, Lin Moyu almost instinctively spoke out. Upon closer inspection, it wasn't a skeleton throne, but the two were very similar. Lin Moyu guessed that the throne should be the seat of the manor owner. Just as he was about to take a closer look, he suddenly heard a sound from behind, and footsteps echoed. Besides the footsteps, there were also some chaotic voices.
Someone's coming.
Lin Moyu turned his head and saw some figures appearing outside the hall. The first to rush in was a demon, covered in scales and spikes, looking very ugly. His eyes were fierce as he glanced at Lin Moyu and said viciously,
"Human."
Lin Moyu replied softly,
"Is there a problem?"
The demon clenched his fists, his chest heaving.
"Be careful."
He didn't make a move. The various races had a tacit understanding to maintain the unspoken rules and wouldn't act unless there was a conflict of interest. Otherwise, they might end up benefiting others, a situation no race wanted. Lin Moyu sized him up. Covered in scales and thick flesh, it was clear his physical body was strong.
His physical body is indeed strong, but why can he appear here directly, and he's not alone?
More people appeared outside the hall. This time, it was an elderly human, dressed in a robe, looking spirited, and exuding a unique military aura. Lin Moyu could sense the immense power contained within his body, his physical strength very strong. Coupled with his aura, Lin Moyu immediately spoke.
"Are you Elder Wang Xing?"
The second group to enter included Elder Wang Xing, who had brought 3 people with him. It was clear that these 3 were already dead. Seeing Lin Moyu, Wang Xing's eyes flashed with joy, the joy of seeing a fellow human.
"Indeed it is I. And you are?"
Lin Moyu replied,
"Junior Lin Moyu."
As he spoke, Lin Moyu took out his honorary token. Seeing the honorary token, Wang Xing's eyebrows raised several times, and his gaze towards Lin Moyu changed instantly. Only 2 types of people could obtain the honorary token. One was a top genius, and the other was someone who had made outstanding contributions to the human race. Needless to say, Lin Moyu belonged to the former. Even for top geniuses, Wang Xing didn't dare to be careless, especially since the other party had made it here. Wang Xing straightforwardly asked Lin Moyu about the situation outside. Lin Moyu said,
"Before I came in, the Human Emperor Network issued a task, and the difficulty level was deep red. The reason was that Elder Wang was trapped inside with no news, and everyone thought you were in grave danger. Actually, given Elder Wang's strength, we were worrying unnecessarily."
Wang Xing smiled bitterly.
"Actually, several times I almost lost my life here."
Wang Xing recounted his experiences. After entering the manor, he, like everyone else, experienced the first 3 tests of reflexes. Fortunately, Wang Xing was experienced and passed without incident. In the subsequent combat tests, 1-on-1, 1-on-3, Wang Xing had no problems. But during the 1-on-10 test, Wang Xing was nearly killed. He didn't have the chance to escape into the safe passage. Fortunately, as an elder, he carried enough pills and managed to survive by fighting and retreating. The subsequent ambushes in the flower and grass clusters were also perilous. Wang Xing was lucky, sustaining some injuries but making it through. However, at the last safe passage, Wang Xing chose to enter. By that time, he knew that continuing forward would likely result in death. After entering the safe passage, he found himself in a secret chamber. Unlike Tang Zhan's secret chamber, it was also different from what Lin Moyu had imagined. The secret chamber had 2 doors leading to different places. One was an exit, which would lead out of the manor and provide a reward. The other door led further inside. Wang Xing didn't rush. He healed his injuries in the secret chamber before choosing to continue forward. Thus, he spent the following days wandering through one secret chamber after another. The secret chambers were not only dangerous but also had maze-like properties. After passing through 3 secret chambers, 5 exits would appear in the next chamber. 1 exit led out of the manor, while among the other 4, 1 was the correct exit, and the other 3 led back into the maze of secret chambers. Elder Wang had several chances to leave the secret chambers, but his stubborn nature made him persist, determined to conquer the maze. Unfortunately, he never chose correctly. Lin Moyu found it amusing and thought to himself,
"So the playground is like this. It seems the manor owner has a fondness for mazes."
To him, the entire manor seemed like a puzzle-solving arena. Each test was a puzzle, with no hints throughout, requiring one to think and solve it themselves. It must have been more difficult in the past. After the great battle, the manor fell into a semi-abandoned state, making it simpler. Elder Wang was trapped in the maze of secret chambers for several days. Just now, the maze disappeared, and he found himself in the ancient castle, then walked over. At this moment, more people entered the hall, belonging to different races, all with strong physical bodies. Lin Moyu knew these people were likely like Elder Wang, having come from the maze. Otherwise, it wouldn't be such a coincidence. It seemed he was the only one who had entered the castle through the main gate. As for why the maze disappeared, Lin Moyu didn't know. He didn't bother to guess. The result was already in front of him, and asking why was meaningless. After Wang Xing finished speaking, he curiously asked,
"Lin Moyu, how did you solve the maze?"
Lin Moyu shook his head.
"I didn't enter the maze."
Wang Xing was stunned and immediately realized that Lin Moyu had fought his way through.
"Lin Moyu, what was the test after the flower and grass clusters? Can you tell me?"
At that time, he felt he had to enter the safe passage or he would die. But he was also curious about the subsequent tests. Lin Moyu described the test of the 1,000-skeleton army, and Wang Xing's face changed. With his strength, he could handle 10 or 100 skeletons, perhaps even pass. But 1,000, he would surely die. He was a god sovereign, and although his physical body had reached the true god realm, about the 5th tier, he wasn't skilled in physical combat. 10 flower monsters had already nearly killed him. 1,000 skeletons were terrifying to imagine. He was grateful for his choice at the time and also amazed by Lin Moyu's strength. Although he couldn't discern Lin Moyu's cultivation level, he could tell that Lin Moyu's physical body was very strong, stronger than his own. Lin Moyu noticed his confusion and smiled.
"My cultivation level is not high, but I have trained my physical body to be very strong."
Wang Xing knew Lin Moyu was being modest and went along.
"It seems training the physical body is not without merit."
Lin Moyu smiled but didn't respond. After a while, more people arrived. In total, more than 20 people entered the hall, with the demon race having the most, 8 in total. Among the humans, only Lin Moyu and Wang Xing were present, with no one else. 1171, 1171. Chapter 1171. The game has just begun. Lin Moyu's gaze swept over the various races in the hall. The demon race, the golden eagle race, the fire lion race. Each one was known for their strong physical bodies. They also felt Lin Moyu's gaze and glared back, their eyes fierce. Wang Xing frowned, his face becoming somber.
"This is troublesome."
There were 9 races in the hall, 6 of which had enmity with the human race, and 3 had no enmity but were not friends either. Each one looked strange and, by human standards, extremely ugly. The human race had few allies, and those they had, like the butterfly race, were not physically strong. Only the dragon race was an exception. They had a good relationship with the human race and were among the strongest in terms of physical strength. But this time, the dragon race did not come. Wang Xing, being a god sovereign, had high cultivation and strength, but here it was useless. Everyone's cultivation was suppressed to the 5th tier of true God, without exception. Here, the only thing one could rely on was their physical body. His physical body had naturally grown to about the 5th tier of true God due to his God-sovereign cultivation. Compared to these races known for their physical prowess, he had no advantage. If it were one-on-one, he wouldn't be afraid. But if many attacked him at once, it would be hard to resist. He had already noticed some individuals looking at him with ill intent, as if they might attack at any moment. Here, it was even more dangerous than in the secret chamber maze. He lowered his voice.
What should we do?
Lin Moyu was indifferent.
No rush. We'll kill them later.
Wang Xing's eyes showed surprise. What did he mean by
kill them later?
He wasn't talking about that. He was asking how to stay alive. Clearly, he felt Lin Moyu had misunderstood him. Lin Moyu's attention was not on those other races. The throne in the center of the hall was emitting a faint glow. The light was very weak, almost unnoticeable unless one looked closely. Even if seen, it would just seem like a faint reflection. Several demons exchanged glances, looking like they were about to act. Wang Xing kept a close eye on them, his whole body tensing. Suddenly, the door creaked and slammed shut. The outside light was blocked, and the hall instantly darkened. The darkness was not a problem for anyone present, but the faintly glowing throne became very conspicuous. Everyone's attention was drawn to the throne. The demons temporarily gave up their intention to act.
Treasure!
A demon exclaimed and rushed forward. Several other demons moved simultaneously, blocking the others and glaring at them. If anyone dared to snatch the treasure, they would attack. At this moment, the demons' numerical advantage became apparent. Wang Xing looked at Lin Moyu, who seemed to have the intention to act. Lin Moyu shook his head.
No rush. The game has just begun.
The game has just begun? This made Wang Xing feel strange. Did Lin Moyu know something? After all, Lin Moyu had entered the manor through the main gate, unlike them, and might have more information. In his confusion, the demon who rushed forward suddenly showed a look of horror. It was as if he had seen something terrifying. The light on the throne suddenly brightened, and a giant skull appeared. The skull opened its mouth and swallowed the demon. When everyone came to their senses, the demon had disappeared. Everyone was terrified, and the remaining demons trembled, their eyes filled with fear. This was no treasure. It was a man-eating trap, no, a demon-eating trap. Wang Xing whispered.
How did you know?
Lin Moyu laughed.
I guessed.
Wang Xing saw that Lin Moyu didn't answer and didn't press further. Lin Moyu had indeed guessed. The garden outside was a chase game, and the secret chamber maze was a puzzle game. The hall should also be a game, but he didn't know the content yet. But Lin Moyu was sure that the throne was the key to the game. Anyone who dared to grab the throne before the game started would surely die. The demons' faces were very ugly. They hadn't expected the throne to suddenly kill someone. The other race's strong individuals looked at the demons with schadenfreude. They had seen what the demons did earlier but didn't dare to speak out due to the numerical and strength disparity. Now that the demons had lost a member, it was good news for them. The faint light on the throne gradually gathered, revealing a figure. The figure was hazy and blurry, hard to see clearly. But Lin Moyu's eyes narrowed when he saw the figure. It wore a cloak almost identical to the Skeleton King's. Combining this with the throne that was at least 70% similar, Lin Moyu instinctively thought the figure on the throne was the Skeleton King.
Could the manor's owner be the Skeleton King? That's impossible.
The Skeleton King was just a summoned creature he had fused with magic. How could it appear here? But the resemblance was uncanny. At this moment, the hazy figure on the throne raised its head, seemingly looking at everyone in the hall. Everyone except Lin Moyu felt a chill, as if an invisible gaze swept over them. The hazy figure slowly stood up, and the cloak behind it fluttered without wind. Everyone became alert, not knowing what would happen next. To them, the entire manor was filled with eeriness, and the hazy figure was equally incomprehensible. The hazy figure patted the throne, and a skull on the throne lit up. A skeleton appeared in the hall. The hazy figure's hoarse voice slowly sounded.
Skeletons are soldiers, you are thieves, limited to 1 incense stick's time.
A freshly lit incense stick appeared in the figure's hand. As the incense burned, the skeleton charged forward. Everyone scattered in fear, fleeing in all directions. Although the hall was spacious, it felt small when running and hiding. The skeleton first targeted a demon. The demon didn't know what would happen if caught and fled desperately. Lin Moyu's mouth twitched.
Cops and robbers. It really is a game.
It was indeed a game, and being caught would not end well. Wang Xing initially wanted to flee too, but seeing Lin Moyu not moving, he stayed put. He whispered,
He's a demon from the Hell lineage, a Xuanwu demon. His physical body is very strong, known for its power, and is a mainstay in the demon race.
Lin Moyu knew Wang Xing was speaking for his benefit. There were countless types of demons, more than 10,000. Lin Moyu only remembered the stronger ones and their characteristics. He had heard of the Xuanwu demon, which was indeed strong and had caused significant trouble for the human race. But now, the Xuanwu demon was in a sorry state. 1172 Chapter 1172. The cruel game begins. The skeleton stared at the Xuanwu demon running around the hall, making a crisp cracking sound. The sound echoed in the dim hall, giving everyone a creepy feeling. The skeleton was very fast, much faster than the Xuanwu demon, and extremely agile. In less than 30 seconds, the Xuanwu demon was cornered. The Xuanwu demon roared. A giant stick appeared in its hand, and it swung it fiercely at the skeleton. The skeleton casually punched, and the giant stick shattered. Then it rushed forward, throwing several punches in succession. The Xuanwu demon exploded like a balloon, with blood and flesh scattered everywhere. Everyone's hearts trembled. The combat power of the skeleton was beyond imagination. Lin Moyu murmured,
So this is the outcome of being caught.
The game rules did not specify what would happen if caught, but it turned out to be death. The skeleton turned around, red light flashing in its eyes, and locked onto the second target. The target was a Golden Eagle clan member, his entire body golden, with feathers like sharp swords. Not only did he have strong defense, but he could also launch attacks. However, he would only use his feather attack as a last resort, not easily. The moment he was targeted by the skeleton, his wings flapped, and he shot in the opposite direction, quickly distancing himself from the skeleton. He was very fast, much faster than the Xuanwu demon. Unfortunately, he couldn't fly here, and the hall's limited space prevented him from fully utilizing his speed advantage. The skeleton, still making cracking sounds, ran over, quickly closing the distance. The Golden Eagle screeched, quickly changing direction, fleeing to another side, but the skeleton chased after him, matching his speed. For a while, the hall was filled with golden flashes as the Golden Eagle ran around in panic. Everyone looked at the Golden Eagle with pity, knowing that being caught by the skeleton meant almost certain death. Lin Moyu looked at the incense in the phantom's hand, estimating that it would burn out in about 10 minutes, or 600 seconds. The first Xuanwu demon lasted less than 30 seconds. The Golden Eagle was faster, so he would likely last longer. This meant that after one incense stick, not everyone would be dead. At least a few would survive.
What a cruel game.
Lin Moyu sighed, no longer focusing on the incense, but on the skeleton. This skeleton was different from the ones he summoned, looking much stronger. Its bones were no longer just white but more like jade, even appearing crystalline. Unusual bones indicated the skeleton's powerful combat ability. After a minute, the Golden Eagle suddenly screamed. The Golden Eagle, who had been fleeing, suddenly froze as if bound by something. Everyone was confused, not knowing what had happened, but Lin Moyu could see that the skeleton had emitted a death aura, forming a net that bound the Golden Eagle. The Golden Eagle struggled, his body glowing gold, quickly breaking free. But half a second had passed, enough time for the skeleton to reach him. The Golden Eagle screamed in terror, his body exploding with golden light. His feathers shot out like arrows. Golden light filled the hall, and everyone quickly defended themselves. Wang Xing took out a small tower, which emitted a light screen, blocking the golden light. The skeleton, at the forefront, was engulfed by the golden light, which made a crisp sound as it hit. A fist emerged from the golden light, striking the golden eagle's head like lightning. Boom! The golden eagle's head exploded, his soul destroyed. His featherless body fell to the ground, and the golden light disappeared. Everyone gasped, realizing their defenses were useless. The skeleton turned again, locking onto a third target. A red demon, shaped like a lion, roared and fled to another corner, distancing itself from the skeleton. The demon clan's numbers were now at disadvantage, as they were more likely to be targeted. The fire lion demon, from the abyss, was covered in flames, both red and green, with the properties of both fire and abyssal flames. He turned into a fireball, fleeing around the hall. The skeleton's cracking sound was like the sound of death, terrifying everyone. Everyone's faces turned grim. They could see that the fire lion demon wouldn't last long, as speed was not his strength. Lin Moyu calculated the time.
495 seconds left.
The Xuanwu demon lasted 30 seconds, the golden eagle 75 seconds. It was uncertain how long the fire lion demon would last. The longer he lasted, the higher the chances of others surviving. No one was gloating now. Everyone hoped the fire lion demon would last longer, because no one knew who would be next. The skeleton's choice seemed random, based on luck. The fire lion demon kept fleeing, but the skeleton kept closing the distance. He was running at his maximum speed, but speed was not his strength. Finally, the skeleton reached him, punching him. The fire lion's body exploded, flames scattering everywhere. Dead. Everyone sighed. But the skeleton didn't look at anyone else, instead rushing towards a flame. Another punch scattered the flame. A strange cry came from the flame. It was the fire lion demon's voice. He wasn't dead. Everyone was shocked. The fire lion had survived. The skeleton punched again, scattering the flame. Then it turned and rushed towards another target. A red copper clan member's face changed. The skeleton was coming for him. He tried to flee but was suddenly pushed towards the skeleton. The fire lion demon appeared behind him, pushing him towards the skeleton. The red copper clan member's terrified expression met the skeleton, and he exploded like mud. The skeleton continued towards the fire lion demon. The fire lion demon screamed and fled again. Everyone was now on high alert, fearing the fire lion demon would repeat his trick and get them killed. Wang Xing explained,
The fire lion demon has a spell that allows him to teleport twice over short distances, but only to places with flames.
That's why the fire lion demon hadn't died from the first punch. There was a flame behind the red copper clan member. The red copper clan member's carelessness had cost him his life. Finally, the fire lion demon couldn't escape the skeleton, and at 75 seconds, his head was punched and exploded. He lasted less than the golden eagle. 420 seconds remained, and 4 were dead. 1 didn't need to die, including Lin Moyu and Wang Xing. 17 people remained, uncertain how many would survive. Everyone felt a heavy weight on their hearts. The skeleton's gaze turned towards Lin Moyu's direction, finally locking onto Wang Xing. 1173, 1173. Chapter 1173. Keep up the good work. Strive for improvement. Wang Xing's face suddenly turned pale. Lin Moyu's eyes glowed red, as if 2 knives had pierced his head and soul. He wasn't afraid of death. Throughout his cultivation journey, he had faced death many times, but he didn't want to die in such a humiliating way. Now he had no way out. Once the skeleton locked onto him, there was no escape. He used all his defensive treasures, but they couldn't withstand a few punches from the skeleton. The skeleton before him seemed to defy the rules, too terrifying. Lin Moyu's heart stirred, and a wave of death energy quickly spread, silently enveloping Wang Xing. The hall was already filled with death energy, so Lin Moyu's actions went unnoticed. Even Wang Xing himself only felt a bit cold, unaware of what Lin Moyu had done. As soon as the death energy enveloped Wang Xing, the skeleton suddenly bypassed him and looked to the other side, finally locking onto an Iron Bear tribesman. The Iron Bear tribesman had just been relieved that the skeleton hadn't chosen him, but now disaster struck. The skeleton moved, and the Iron Bear tribesman screamed, throwing a large knife that slashed at the skeleton while quickly retreating. He knew his speed wasn't fast enough to escape, so he chose to fight back. The large knife was a high-level treasure, but it was easily shattered by the skeleton. At this moment, everyone realized that the chosen Iron Bear tribesman was actually a god king, and not a low-level one. Unfortunately, even a god king had to die here. The skeleton was too strong, with no visible limits. Wang Xing's chest heaved, his body drenched in sweat. The feeling of escaping death was something only he could understand. Lin Moyu chuckled.
Elder Wang has a long life ahead, you'll be fine.
Wang Xing awkwardly laughed.
I was really lucky this time.
Lin Moyu chuckled.
Elder Wang has always been lucky.
Lin Moyu had just tried to see if the death energy would work. Under the death energy, Wang Xing might have been mistaken for a dead person. Even if it didn't work, Lin Moyu wouldn't have just watched Wang Xing die. He would have unleashed his undead army. Even if they couldn't defeat the skeleton, they could at least buy time until the incense stick burned out. But since the death energy worked, Lin Moyu didn't need to act. He used the death energy to envelop himself and Wang Xing, ensuring the skeleton wouldn't choose them. As for the others, they were none of his concern. The Iron Bear tribesman wasn't known for speed. After a series of struggles, he was finally killed by the skeleton in 35 seconds. At this point, there were still over 300 seconds left, and the incense stick had only burned a bit more than a third. The skeleton chose its next target, and everyone was on edge, fearing they would be next. Only Lin Moyu remained calm. Wang Xing asked,
Aren't you afraid?
Lin Moyu chuckled.
What's the use of being afraid? What will come, will come.
Wang Xing pondered Lin Moyu's words.
Indeed, young friend, I admire your courage.
One by one, those chosen by the skeleton were chased and killed in despair. As the incense stick burned down to its last quarter, Lin Moyu estimated there were about 100 seconds left. By this time, more than half of the people had died. In the hall, including Lin Moyu and Wang Xing, only 10 people remained. Among them, 3 were demons, and the other 5 were from various other races. At this moment, the phantom on the throne suddenly moved, and its voice sounded again.
In the last 100 seconds, reinforcements have arrived.
As the words fell, the throne lit up again, and another skeleton appeared in the hall. Instantly, the number of chasing skeletons doubled from 1 to 2. The new skeleton didn't lock onto a new target, but joined the first skeleton in chasing the same person. The 2 skeletons coordinated, and the chosen person lasted less than 20 seconds before dying in despair. The addition of the new skeleton greatly increased the difficulty of the game. No one could resist. They could only accept their fate. In the last 100 seconds, 3 more people were killed. When the incense stick burned out, both skeletons disappeared simultaneously, leaving only 6 survivors. Lin Moyu and Wang Xing were unharmed, and 2 demons remained, one from the Hell lineage and one from the Abyss lineage. Additionally, 1 person each from the Tenglong tribe and the Giant Ant tribe survived. The 4 survivors were filled with joy at having escaped death. Lin Moyu shook his head slightly, thinking that these 4 were already dead in his eyes. If there were no more games, they would die by his hand. If there were more games, they would be cannon fodder, dying in the games. It was with the intention of using them as cannon fodder that Lin Moyu hadn't acted when he first entered the hall. Rules? What rules? In the great world, the strongest fist makes the rules. If not for the game, the 8 demons would have already attacked them.
Congratulations, you have escaped the soldiers' pursuit. Now you will be rewarded and given certificates.
Lin Moyu was puzzled. Rewards were one thing, but what was the point of certificates? Felt like they were being treated like children. Several beams of light shot out from the throne, transforming into fist-sized diamond-shaped crystals in the air. Next to the crystals were indeed certificates. The certificates were made of special red paper, with the words,
"Congratulations on winning the game of soldiers and thieves. Here is your reward and certificate. Keep up the good work, strive for improvement."
Lin Moyu was speechless. The rewards and certificates looked like they were meant for children. He suddenly realized that the manor was actually a playground.
Could it be that the manor was originally a place for the owner to play games with his descendants? After the Great Battle, the manor's rules changed, becoming dangerous.
Lin Moyu felt his guess was close to the truth. Otherwise, the current situation couldn't be explained. If this were true, those who died were truly unfortunate. Lin Moyu reluctantly accepted the crystal and certificate. The crystal was identical to the one he had obtained earlier, making two now, but he still didn't know their purpose.
"What is this?"
Wang Xing asked, holding his reward and certificate, still in shock. Everything that had happened was too bizarre.
"What nonsense! After all that, this is the reward. Keep up the good work, strive for improvement, my foot."
The survivors complained. Lin Moyu suddenly realized something was wrong.
"No, there's a problem. The words on the certificate are written in ancient Chinese, completely different from the Great World script. How can they read it?"
Lin Moyu's eyes shifted, and he asked Wang Xing.
"Elder Wang, don't you find the words on the certificate strange?"
Wang Xing looked puzzled.
"No, it's just the common script of the Great World."
Lin Moyu had seen the common script of the Great World, and it was nothing like this. He pondered for a moment, wondering if everyone saw different scripts, but he couldn't explain it. At this moment, the phantom spoke again.
"Winners, you can now use the crystals to exchange for what you want. You know the rules. Think of what you want, and your wish might come true."
As the words fell, the phantom disappeared. The throne projected a light screen with a crystal-shaped hole in the center. 1174, 1174. Chapter 1174. Everyone had the same thought. The tone of the phantom was like an elder teasing a child. Lin Moyu became more certain of his guess. This manor was actually a playground for its owner and his descendants. Could also be seen as a place for relaxation and leisure.
Perhaps due to that great battle, the rules here changed in a strange way. Or maybe what we consider dangerous is just a game to the people here.
As he speculated, his gaze fell on the light screen projected by the throne. In the light screen, countless treasures seemed to be flashing. There were weapons, armor, and some strange-looking items. Lin Moyu saw a small tower, beads, a whip, and even shoes. These items appeared and disappeared in the light. In the center of the light screen was a hole, identical to the diamond-shaped crystal in his hand. The meaning was clear. Just place the crystal in the hole to get a treasure. As for what treasure one would get, it depended on what they desired. Lin Moyu's eyes shifted, and he said to Wang Xing,
"Let's go."
Wang Xing didn't hesitate and immediately agreed.
"All right."
Elder Wang Xing had an inexplicable trust in Lin Moyu. Earlier, when he was targeted by the skeleton, he was terrified, but Lin Moyu remained calm. Later, for some reason, the skeleton suddenly changed its target and ignored him. At the time, he didn't understand, but upon reflection, he recalled feeling a chill, as if something had enveloped him. After that, the skeleton no longer paid attention to him. Not only did it ignore him then, but it also ignored him and Lin Moyu in subsequent selections. While others were panicking, Lin Moyu remained calm, as if he knew from the start that he wouldn't be chosen. Wang Xing felt that Lin Moyu must know something, so whatever Lin Moyu said, he instinctively followed. The two walked towards the wall, and this time no one stopped them. Having seen the fate of the first demon who rushed to the throne and was devoured, the remaining four watched quietly, waiting for the outcome. They had lost the will to kill. After experiencing the skeleton's chase, the survivors just wanted to leave this place alive. Standing before the light screen, Lin Moyu spoke first.
Elder Wang, please go ahead.
Wang Xing was slightly puzzled but didn't hesitate. He immediately placed the crystal in the hole in the light screen. Lin Moyu reminded him,
Elder Wang, think about what you want first.
Wang Xing nodded.
I've already thought about it.
He placed the crystal in the hole, and the light screen instantly shone brightly. The light enveloped Wang Xing. Lin Moyu stepped back a few paces, keeping a safe distance from the light screen. The light was so dazzling that no one could see what was happening inside. A few seconds later, the light faded, and Wang Xing held a small tower in his hand. The small tower was exquisite, 9 stories high, but it was so small that it didn't even cover half a palm. It didn't look like a treasure, more like a child's toy. Elder Wang Xing's expression was complex, a mix of amusement and frustration. Seeing that Elder Wang Xing was unharmed, Lin Moyu breathed a sigh of relief, confirming his judgment. The game was over and it was time for rewards. The phantom hadn't lied. Before Wang Xing could say anything, his figure quickly became blurry. A spatial rift appeared beside him, pulling him in with great force. On the other side of the rift, Lin Moyu sensed the aura of the great world. Wang Xing was immediately sent back to the great world after receiving his treasure.
Is the game over? But what did Elder Wang's expression mean?
Wang Xing's expression before leaving was strange, and Lin Moyu couldn't understand it. However, with Wang Xing gone, Lin Moyu felt relieved. For the human race, although they didn't lack god sovereigns, it was always best to have more survivors. Even 100 god kings couldn't compare to one god sovereign. Wang Xing's safe return was the best outcome. Lin Moyu felt a chill as 4 murderous gazes fell upon him. With Wang Xing gone, Lin Moyu was the only human left. The remaining 4, 2 demons, 1 Tenglong tribesman, and 1 giant ant tribesman, were all enemies of the human race. They looked at Lin Moyu with killing intent. Lin Moyu didn't know their true cultivation levels, but here, cultivation didn't matter. The giant ant tribesman sneered.
You have a lot of guts, not running away. But now you have no chance.
The Tenglong tribesman laughed coldly, moving like lightning to cut off Lin Moyu's retreat. The Tenglong tribe, despite having
dragon
in their name, had little to do with the dragon race. Long ago, they were called the Teng Snake tribe, but for some reason, they changed their name to the Tenglong tribe. Perhaps their appearance, which bore some resemblance to dragons, prompted the name change to gain some association. With Wang Xing gone, the balance was broken, and the 4 clearly didn't intend to let Lin Moyu leave. The demons, Tenglong, and giant ant tribes weren't allies, but they had a common enemy, the human race. This gave them a reason to temporarily cooperate. Lin Moyu remained calm.
Are you so sure you can take me down?
The giant ant tribesman laughed sharply.
1-on-1, maybe not, but 4-on-1? Everyone knows how weak the human body's physical strength is.
The Tenglong tribesman laughed.
Even if you're a god sovereign in the great world, your physical body can't be that strong.
The abyss demon, shrouded in green flames, said,
You were lucky earlier, but your luck has run out.
They seemed confident in defeating Lin Moyu, their killing intent growing stronger. Lin Moyu chuckled.
It seems we all had the same thought. It's about time to take you all down.
Lin Moyu didn't want them to get the treasure and leave. Once Wang Xing left, his killing intent began to boil. The 4 were amused by Lin Moyu's words.
You think you can kill us? You must be mad. In the great world, I'm an 8th-tier god king. Here, I have the physical strength of a 7th-tier true god. How do you plan to kill me? Human bodies are fragile. You're struggling to protect yourself, yet you dream of killing us.
Lin Moyu laughed.
Let's find out.
He turned and punched the Tenglong tribesman beside him.
You're courting death.
The Tenglong tribesman swung his tail like a whip at Lin Moyu. His body was over 5 meters long, coiled like a snake, resembling a dragon in appearance. Dragons and snakes do share some similarities. The tail was the Tenglong tribe's most powerful weapon, sharp as a blade, slashing at Lin Moyu's fist. A scream echoed as the Tenglong tribesman convulsed as if electrocuted. His tail exploded like a watermelon, scattering blood and flesh.
Impossible! How can a human have such a strong body?
The Tenglong tribesman screamed in disbelief. His strongest tail was destroyed by Lin Moyu's punch. The other three's faces changed drastically, shouting in unison.
Kill!
1175 1175. Chapter 1175. One batch isn't enough. Then let's have another batch. Three figures lunged at Lin Moyu, with the fastest being the Netherfire Demon. The Netherfire Demon's greatest strength wasn't his physical body but his speed. His speed was no slower than that of the Golden Eagle race at the same level. In the blink of an eye, he was already in front of Lin Moyu. However, he charged quickly and retreated even faster. With a terrified scream, the Netherfire Demon frantically retreated, his flames scattering wildly, reflecting his chaotic emotions. Not only him, but the giant ant tribesman and another demon also retreated frantically, screaming incessantly. The giant ant tribesman's scream was particularly piercing.
How unpleasant!
Lin Moyu frowned.
Not only are they ugly, but their voices are also so unpleasant.
4 skeleton god warriors appeared beside Lin Moyu. The skeleton god warriors wielded giant axes, their skulls emitting soul flames that glowed red. At first glance, they looked somewhat similar to the skeletons from earlier. The 4 were scared out of their wits, fleeing to the corners of the hall, far away from Lin Moyu. Even the Tenglong tribesman, whose tail had been severed, endured the immense pain to hide as far away as possible. Unfortunately, the hall was too small. Otherwise, he would have wanted to be thousands of light years away from Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu chuckled.
Such cowards.
The Netherfire Demon, trembling with fear, screamed.
Who are you? Lin Moyu? Isn't my name on your demon race's must-kill list?
Lin Moyu said calmly. The Netherfire Demon recalled that there was indeed a human named Lin Moyu on the must-kill list. Anyone on the must-kill list was someone the demon race had to eliminate. They were either individuals who had caused significant harm to the demon race or geniuses who, though currently weak, could pose a significant threat in the future. When he first saw Lin Moyu, he was only at the super god level. Being on the must-kill list at the super god level indicated Lin Moyu's terrifying potential. The Netherfire Demon had even thought of killing Lin Moyu if he ever encountered him. But now, he wished he had never met Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu said indifferently,
Since you know my name and know who is killing you, you can die in peace.
Without further words, the 4 skeleton god warriors swung their axes and charged. Terrified by the previous skeletons, the 4 had no thought of resisting the current skeleton god warriors. They screamed and fled madly around the hall. The skeleton god warriors, possessing the combat power of a 7th to 8th tier true god, had balanced attributes, and their physical strength alone reached the 6th tier of true god. In the great world, such combat power might not be much easily crushed by a god king. But in this special environment, the physical strength of a 6th tier true god was already very powerful. Lin Moyu watched the skeleton god warriors chase them as if watching a show. The 4 fled in utter panic, their eyes filled with fear, not daring to confront the skeleton god warriors head-on.
This is the real game of cops and robbers. But it seems there aren't enough cops, so let's add a few more.
Lin Moyu chuckled and decided not to waste any more time, planning to end the fight quickly. Instantly, 100 skeleton god warriors appeared, joining the chase. The 4 showed expressions of utter despair. If they had known, they wouldn't have bothered with Lin Moyu and would have let him go. Now, their lives were at stake. They didn't know that Lin Moyu had never intended to leave. For Lin Moyu, there were 2 choices. Either kill these guys, which wasn't difficult, or keep them as cannon fodder in case there were more games later. If not for the second reason, Lin Moyu would have killed them long ago. He had let Wang Xing take the treasure first to see what would happen. If taking the treasure led to the next game, Wang Xing would be in danger. When Wang Xing took the treasure and left the manor, Lin Moyu decided to kill them. He didn't want them to take the treasure and leave the manor. It would be a waste. It was better to turn them into his military merits. In despair, they were quickly surrounded by the skeleton god warriors. The giant axes fell, swiftly turning them into minced meat. The entire process was smooth, without any hiccups. If there were any hiccups, he would just summon more skeleton god warriors. If one batch wasn't enough, then 2 batches. If that didn't work, there were still Death Knights, Bone Dragons, and Skeleton Generals. The battle ended quickly, and the skeleton god warriors began to clean up the battlefield. The bodies of those killed in the game earlier were still in the hall. The skeleton god warriors collected their bodies and brought them to Lin Moyu, along with their storage items, wasting nothing.
I wonder what treasures are inside and why Elder Wang's expression was so strange.
After ensuring nothing was missed, Lin Moyu was about to exchange for treasures from the light screen. Suddenly, he noticed the diamond-shaped crystals merging together. The 4 fist-sized crystals merged into one, becoming significantly larger. Lin Moyu's heart stirred, and he took out his 2 crystals. As expected, his 2 crystals also merged with the larger one. The 6 crystals merged into one, now the size of an adult's head. The crystal had grown larger but could no longer fit into the light screen slot. How was he supposed to exchange for treasures and leave? Lin Moyu scanned the hall, not missing a single detail. To his disappointment, there was no suitable place to put the crystal. Suddenly, his gaze stopped. He saw a notch in the center of the throne, seemingly the same size as the crystal. With a try-it-and-see attitude, Lin Moyu bypassed the light screen and approached the throne. He was cautious, remembering the demon being devoured earlier. Fortunately, nothing happened, and he reached the throne smoothly. The notch indeed matched the crystal. Placing the crystal into the notch, the entire throne lit up. The projected light screen instantly disappeared, and the throne shone brightly, emitting dazzling light. Angry roars and dying screams echoed in his ears. The sound of clashing weapons reverberated in the hall. The hall disappeared, replaced by a garden.
This is a past image.
Lin Moyu was shocked. The throne had recorded the image of the great battle. The sky above the garden was dark and gloomy, with lightning and thunder. Powerful laws shattered the sky, sweeping across. The powerful laws came from beyond the heavens, and countless meteor showers fell on the garden. Lightning struck, burning large swathes of the grassland and flowers. Originally, some peculiar beings lived on the grassland. They had 2 legs and 4 arms, tending to the grassland as gardeners. But the sudden disaster completely destroyed the grassland. Then the human army descended, and the gardeners angrily raised their tools to fight the human army. 1176 1176. Chapter 1176. The past scene, the castle's history. Lin Moyu observed the scene, seeing the flower monsters he had encountered earlier. These creatures, with their 2 legs and 4 arms, were originally the gardeners of the manor. They were responsible for trimming the flowers and grass and didn't possess much combat power. Faced with the advancing human army, they were quickly slaughtered. After eliminating the gardeners, the army advanced towards the castle. Along the way, they encountered some resistance from skeletons, which served as the manor's guards. Although the skeletons were stronger than the flower monsters, they were still outnumbered and couldn't stop the enemy. The human army broke into the manor, and the castle erupted with brilliant light, initiating its defense. Inside the castle, a fierce battle ensued between the skeleton army and the human army. Despite the skeleton's strength, the human army's numerical superiority quickly overwhelmed them. At this moment, a dark figure emerged from the castle, charging towards the human army. Screams filled the air as countless people fell from the sky. The dark figure, clad in pitch-black armor and wielding a large sword, cut through the human soldiers like a reaper. Lin Moyu found the figure familiar, especially the large sword and the blood-red cloak on its back.
Is that the Skeleton King?
He wasn't entirely sure, as the armor covered the figure completely, making it impossible to see its face. The dark figure slaughtered a large number of human soldiers, scattering a 10,000-strong army. Even the commanders couldn't withstand the dark figure, falling after less than 10 strikes. The dark figure fought even more ferociously, bodies falling like raindrops, staining the manor's flowers red with blood. Lin Moyu felt as if he were witnessing the battle firsthand, seeing the carnage unfold before him. Finally, a more powerful being arrived. This new arrival, also clad in armor, engaged the dark figure in battle. Lin Moyu recognized this being from the records on the beast's skin. It was the ruler. The ruler and the dark figure clashed fiercely, while the human army took the opportunity to storm the castle. Soon, screams and sounds of battle echoed from within the castle, indicating that most of those who entered had perished. The ruler was no match for the dark figure and gradually fell into a disadvantage. In a desperate move, the ruler severed an arm and used his blood to perform a powerful spell. Even though Lin Moyu wasn't physically present at the battle, he could still feel the terrifying power of the spell. The dark figure was instantly suppressed and fell from the sky. The spell didn't discriminate between friend and foe, affecting the human army as well. The once indestructible castle began to tremble under the immense pressure. A massive rune appeared in the sky, glowing brightly. Lin Moyu immediately recognized it as the Great World Rune, identical to the one he had seen before, but this one was undamaged. It looked perfect, representing the ultimate truth of the world. The scene shattered abruptly, and Lin Moyu heard a crisp cracking sound as the image broke. The throne stopped glowing, and the crystal on it developed a crack before shattering completely. Lin Moyu sighed, understanding the outcome of the ancient battle. It was a Pyrrhic victory, with neither side gaining much. The manor still stood, which was the best evidence of its resilience. The dark figure, a servant of the manor's owner, had entered the coffin of slumber due to severe injuries after the battle. As for the Great World Rune, whether it was damaged by the battle remained uncertain. Lin Moyu doubted the dark figure had the power to damage the rune. How the dark figure ultimately repelled the human army remained a mystery. The cause of the ancient battle and the era in which it occurred were also unknown. The human race had experienced many rises and falls in the Great World. Apart from the recent era of Shao Zhantian, the human race had seen other periods of glory. However, this battle clearly predated Shao Zhantian's era. Historical records had gaps, making it difficult to trace. Lost in thought, Lin Moyu unconsciously placed his hand on the throne, gently tapping it. Suddenly, the throne emitted a gentle light, enveloping Lin Moyu. The phantom reappeared, staring at Lin Moyu, scrutinizing him.
It has consciousness.
Lin Moyu was startled. He had previously thought the phantom was just a memory, acting according to set rules. But now it seemed that wasn't the case. The phantom disappeared again, and the throne's light grew stronger, merging into Lin Moyu's body. Lin Moyu's body stiffened as a throne appeared in his soul world.
How did it enter my soul world?
Lin Moyu became extremely vigilant. The throne had invaded his soul world without any resistance, indicating its immense power. The throne flew to the star of the Skeleton King's spell in his soul world, orbiting it like a satellite.
It became a satellite.
Lin Moyu was stunned. The mysterious and powerful throne had become a satellite of the Skeleton King's spell star. With its addition, the Skeleton King's spell grew stronger, enhancing the star significantly. The 9 star spells connected as one, forming a cohesive whole. The strengthened Skeleton King spell also boosted other spell stars, enhancing the entire soul world. The 9 spell stars shone brighter, and the soul world expanded rapidly. Lin Moyu felt his soul power increase significantly, gaining many insights into the laws of undeath from the throne. In just a few minutes, he gained more understanding than he had in decades. The enhanced understanding of the laws and the strengthened soul power were further amplified by the talent tree and the 9-colored dragon soul crystal, which provided pure soul power. Lin Moyu's soul power grew rapidly, breaking through a bottleneck. His cultivation advanced to the 5th tier of true God, and his mastery of the laws reached 20%. Without needing to refine it himself, the 9 star spells automatically completed the refining process. He obtained all the information about the throne.
This thing is really called the Skeleton Throne?
Lin Moyu was surprised. He had thought it merely resembled the skeleton throne summoned by the Skeleton King spell, but it turned out to be the actual skeleton throne. He also understood its function. It could enhance the Skeleton King's power, making it a specialized treasure for the Skeleton King. Not only was it a specialized treasure, but it was also a storage device. The items Wang Xing had obtained were stored inside it. After refining it, the treasures naturally became Lin Moyu's. With a thought, a small sword appeared in his hand. The sword was made of white bone, less than 20 centimeters long, small, and exquisite. Understanding its function, Lin Moyu couldn't help but smile wryly, feeling a bit like Wang Xing at that moment. 1177, 1177. Chapter 1177. It turns out to be a toy. Lin Moyu was speechless. It really was just a toy. The white bone divine sword, toy, could emit an aura equivalent to the peak of a god sovereign, but it had no actual attack power. After each use, it required a 10-minute cooldown before it could be used again. Lin Moyu found it quite useless. However, it could be used to scare people. He then took out a shield. The shield was also very small, just slightly larger than an adult's palm, with intricate carvings on it. Invincible shield, toy. It could block the aura attacks of a god sovereign but had no actual defensive power and was ineffective against real attacks. Lin Moyu imagined a scene in his mind. A little kid waving the white bone divine sword, shouting in a childish voice,
"Take this sword."
Another kid would raise the shield and say,
"Look at my invincible shield."
After looking at a few more items, all of which were toys, Lin Moyu couldn't help but laugh and cry as he put them away. They seemed useless but might be good for entertaining children. At this moment, Lin Moyu also understood the purpose of the crystal. Besides recording images, the crystal could also be used for long-distance communication. By using a special method, a large crystal could be divided into smaller pieces, allowing communication between them regardless of distance, even in some secret realms or special places. However, the crystals had to be from the same original piece. Different crystals couldn't communicate with each other. The crystals in the manor were all split from a large crystal, so they would merge when they came into contact. During the Great Battle, the crystals in the castle recorded part of the scene, which Lin Moyu had seen. Now, there was still a sizable crystal in the throne, which Lin Moyu could split and use as needed. The skeleton throne was also the controller of the manor. By mastering the skeleton throne, one could control the entire castle and the manor. With a thought, the large door in the hall quickly opened, and light poured in again. Immediately, a portal appeared on the wall in front of Lin Moyu. This portal led to the small forest behind the manor. Before entering the manor, Lin Moyu had seen the small forest from the outside. Lin Moyu stepped into the portal, and the scene before him changed. The small forest appeared in front of him, then shattered with a bang. When Lin Moyu regained his senses, he found himself back in the great world, at the same spot where he had entered the manor.
"Junior brother Lin, you finally came out."
A joyful voice called out. Lin Moyu turned to see Qian Huang flying towards him, his face full of joy. But someone was even faster. In a flash, someone appeared in front of him. Elder Wang Xing also looked delighted.
"Lin Moyu, you finally came out?"
His tone was filled with concern, and he seemed relieved, as if a great weight had been lifted from his shoulders. Being a god sovereign, Wang Xing was naturally not foolish. He had already guessed why Lin Moyu had let him exchange for the treasure first. He suspected Lin Moyu intended to kill the others. Indeed, after he left, none of the others came out. But Lin Moyu also didn't come out, which worried him. He feared Lin Moyu might have met with an accident. A young talent like Lin Moyu was rare, and his death would be a significant loss for the human race. After waiting for half a day, Lin Moyu finally emerged, and Wang Xing was relieved. Lin Moyu smiled.
"Thank you for your concern, Elder Wang. I'm fine."
Wang Xing laughed heartily.
"Lin Moyu, you're too polite. If it weren't for you, I might have died in there."
Qian Huang's heart raced upon hearing Wang Xing's words. Turned out Lin Moyu had saved Wang Xing. Lin Moyu's abilities once again shattered his understanding, making him look at Lin Moyu with newfound respect. At this moment, Li Yuanbai also appeared beside Lin Moyu.
Lin Moyu, you finally came out? Come with me quickly.
Seeing Li Yuanbai's urgency, Lin Moyu knew something was up. He gave Qian Huang a look, indicating they would talk later. Li Yuanbai led them to a temporary camp. Before Lin Moyu entered the manor, there was no temporary camp. The camp had 2 tents, and Lin Moyu sensed a strong aura of the law of life emanating from them.
Is someone injured?
Lin Moyu asked. Li Yuanbai, who had been guarding the area, knew exactly how many people had entered and exited the manor and their conditions. Li Yuanbai said solemnly,
A total of 18 people were severely injured. Those with minor injuries have mostly recovered after treatment. The 18 severely injured are in these 2 tents. Pills have little effect on them.
Lin Moyu asked.
Are their injuries similar to Captain Tang Jin's?
Li Yuanbai nodded.
Almost the same.
If the injuries were similar to Tang Zhan's, Lin Moyu was confident he could heal them. His undying law could eradicate all forces, including other laws. Lin Moyu entered the tent and began treating the injured. The patients were in critical condition, with some bodies mostly melted, leaving only bones. One had his upper body burned black, with severed limbs, and it was a wonder how he had escaped. Most of them were at the true god level, unlike Tang Jin, who was much stronger. Their injuries were worsening much faster than Tang Jin's. If left untreated for a few more days, they would likely die. The manor's peculiar power prevented their wounds from healing. Otherwise, with the help of pills, they could have recovered. Lin Moyu used the undying law to first eradicate the foreign power in their bodies, then transformed it into the power of life for healing. He multitasked, treating multiple patients simultaneously, working quickly. As he treated them, Lin Moyu also thought about the numbers Li Yuanbai had reported. By his calculations, 1676 people had died in the manor. When he left, there were no living humans left in the manor. 1676 might not seem like a large number for the human race, but those who came to the battlefield were mostly highly talented cultivators, different from ordinary people. Losing so many was a significant loss.
It seems the Yuanbai has been advising others not to enter after obtaining some information. Otherwise, more people would have entered, and the death toll would be higher.
Lin Moyu thought as he continued treating the injured. The foreign power in their bodies was quickly eradicated, and the undying law transformed into the power of life, combined with the law of life and pills, to heal their wounds. The injuries stabilized quickly, and Lin Moyu moved to the next tent. The second tent housed female cultivators. Besides the patients, a few others were tending to them, though their efforts were futile. Lin Moyu entered without a word, flicking his fingers to release the undying law. 10 seconds later, he exited the tent. Newly grown flesh, white and tender, was visible, and he averted his gaze out of respect. Outside, Lin Moyu told Li Yuanbai,
Don't let anyone else enter.
Li Yuanbai was slightly taken aback and instinctively asked,
Why?
1178 1178. Chapter 1178. The Task Direction of the Human Emperor Network. In Li Yuanbai's view, although many people died this time, some also returned safely. Now that Wang Xing and Lin Moyu had both returned, they would likely bring back a lot of useful information. Combining their information, a useful strategy could be developed. Now was the time for large-scale entry, and even the army could be sent in. However, Lin Moyu said,
Don't go in anymore.
Lin Moyu looked at Wang Xing.
Didn't Elder Wang say anything?
Wang Xing replied,
I did, but I was always trapped in the secret chamber maze, so the information I obtained was limited.
Lin Moyu continued,
I mean, didn't Elder Wang mention the small tower he obtained?
Wang Xing's old face turned red.
I wanted to say it, but it was a bit embarrassing. I wanted to wait until you came out to discuss it together.
He meant that he wanted to see what Lin Moyu had obtained, Perhaps it was just an accident. Lin Moyu sighed.
Go ahead, I got the same thing.
Wang Xing smiled bitterly.
So, everything inside is like this?
Lin Moyu nodded.
Yes, it's all like this.
Wang Xing sighed.
I didn't expect that after so many people died, this would be the result. Indeed, there's no need to let anyone else go in.
Li Yuanbai frowned.
What are you two talking about?
Wang Xing took out the small tower he had obtained and handed it to Li Yuanbai. The moment Li Yuanbai received the small tower, he saw the information inside. Prison tower, toy can release a cage that can trap a god sovereign, but it's just an aura with no actual effect. Li Yuanbai was stunned.
A toy? It's just a toy.
Wang Xing nodded helplessly.
Yes.
After so many people died, they either obtained unknown crystals or toys. This was a joke. Lin Moyu quickly recounted his experience, which matched what Wang Xing had said. He also took out a toy and threw it to Li Yuanbai. Li Yuanbai immediately issued an order, forbidding anyone from entering. Previously, it was just a suggestion, but now it was a prohibition. At the same time, he communicated with the higher-ups of the human race, reporting the information he had obtained. With no substantial benefits and facing danger, one careless move could cost lives. Why go to such a place? The subsequent matters were left to Li Yuanbai and Wang Xing to handle, and Lin Moyu considered his task complete. Upon returning, Qian Huang immediately asked,
How was it?
Lin Moyu smiled.
Senior brother Qian's choice was correct.
Qian Huang's face showed no joy.
It seems it was really dangerous inside. Many people went in these past few days, but not many came out.
Lin Moyu nodded.
It was very dangerous inside, and there was nothing good.
Qian Huang knew Lin Moyu wouldn't lie.
No rewards?
Lin Moyu threw a toy to Qian Huang.
This is the reward.
He threw the invincible shield to Qian Huang. Seeing it, Qian Huang was both amused and exasperated.
Isn't this a joke?
Lin Moyu said,
It's not exactly a joke. It's good for entertaining children. Does senior brother Qian have a family? I have more toys here. You can take them.
Qian Huang, who Lin Moyu thought would refuse, surprisingly said sincerely,
If junior brother Lin doesn't want them, I'll take some. Although I don't have a wife and children, there are many kids in my family.
Lin Moyu laughed heartily and threw a few more toys to him. It was clear that Qian Huang's family was very united. Since the manor was now meaningless, the two didn't stay any longer. Before leaving, Lin Moyu took one last look at the manor. The small forest behind the manor looked lush and green. He originally wanted to check out the small forest, but upon stepping through the portal, he left the manor. Apparently, although the small forest could be seen, it couldn't be reached. Perhaps it was destroyed in the Great Battle, or maybe for some other reason. Since he couldn't go, Lin Moyu didn't feel any regret.
Senior brother Qian, do you plan to continue training on the battlefield?
Lin Moyu asked. Qian Huang had already advanced to God King. If he wanted to continue training, he would have to go to deeper areas, managed by Fortresses 7, 8, and 9. Normally, one should wait until reaching the third tier of God King before going there, starting from Fortress 7 to find tasks. Of course, he could also choose to stay in the area managed by Fortress 6, but there weren't many tasks suitable for God Kings in that area. Qian Huang was inherently proud and wouldn't be interested in ordinary tasks. Lin Moyu guessed he might return home to train for a while before coming back. Sure enough, Qian Huang's answer confirmed Lin Moyu's guess.
I need to return to my family. Our family has a rule that once you reach God King, you must return to receive the family inheritance.
Lin Moyu had heard of family inheritances. Many large families had strong ancestors who left behind extraordinary inheritances. Some inheritances could enhance the power of spells, while others could increase cultivation. For a large family like the Chen family, having an inheritance was normal. This wasn't a secret. Many people in the Vermilion Bird Star region knew about it. Moreover, inheritances couldn't be stolen. Only blood descendants could use them, and they had to meet certain requirements. So Qian Huang spoke openly, with no need to hide it. After Qian Huang finished, he asked,
"What about you, junior brother Lin?"
Lin Moyu replied,
"I'm currently on my second chain task and need to stay on the battlefield for a while."
Qian Huang was curious.
"I'm also on my second chain task. What's your task, junior brother Lin?"
Each person's second chain task varied based on their performance in the first chain task. Lin Moyu explained his chain task, and Qian Huang fell into deep thought. Qian Huang clearly knew more about the Human Emperor Network's tasks than Lin Moyu. His family's accumulated information over millions of years was unmatched by Lin Moyu. After thinking for a long time, Qian Huang said,
"Junior brother Lin, your first chain task was perfectly completed. Moreover, your combat power is extraordinary, having fought on the battlefield and killed many enemies. So your second chain task mainly tests your combat power. Whether it's killing the top 10 on the bounty list, battlefield tasks, or accumulating military merits, it's all about testing combat power. Junior brother Lin, you are a true genius. Compared to you, I fall far short."
After he finished speaking, Lin Moyu looked at him with a puzzled expression. Clearly, Lin Moyu didn't fully understand what he was saying. Qian Huang laughed.
"Actually, it's quite simple. Based on our family's accumulated information, the Human Emperor Network's tasks, though numerous, can be categorized into several directions. The first major direction is combat power. Tasks in this direction mainly test combat power. The second major direction is composure. Tasks in this direction test one's ability to remain calm and composed, a rare and valuable trait. The third major direction is comprehensive ability. Tasks in this direction test both combat power and adaptability. One might not be the strongest or the smartest, but they have the best overall abilities."
Lin Moyu listened and found it reasonable.
The fourth direction, and the most interesting one, is luck.
Before he could finish, a figure silently appeared beside them. 1179, 1179. Chapter 1179. The Mysterious Person in the Black Hole. Zhu Qiwu, dressed in a black robe, suddenly appeared beside Lin Moyu, startling Qian Huang, who was speaking enthusiastically. Upon seeing Zhu Qiwu, Qian Huang instinctively shivered, feeling an overwhelming sense of fear. He could sense Zhu Qiwu's immense power, a level so high that even the elders in his family couldn't compare. Lin Moyu greeted Zhu Qiwu respectfully.
"Why have you come?"
Zhu Qiwu's voice was deep and extremely serious.
"I have some questions for you."
He then glanced at Qian Huang.
"You may leave."
His voice carried an air of authority, like a king whose words were absolute, leaving no room for refusal. Qian Huang dared not refuse. He could tell that if Zhu Qiwu wanted to kill him, he wouldn't even need to lift a finger. A mere breath would suffice. However, he hesitated, wondering if leaving would seem disloyal. Lin Moyu smiled slightly.
"Senior brother Qian, you should go. I have some matters to discuss with Senior Zhu. We will meet again if fate allows."
Qian Huang nodded.
"Take care, junior brother Lin. We will meet again if fate allows."
He turned and flew away, getting further and further until Lin Moyu was out of sight. Suddenly, a thought struck him, and he shivered.
His surname is Zhu, and he's so terrifying. Could he be the Guardian? Unbelievable, junior brother Lin actually knows the Guardian. That's terrifying. I've heard that the Guardian never speaks to anyone, yet he sought out junior brother Lin. Junior brother Lin is truly extraordinary.
Qian Huang suppressed his inner shock and flew towards the forward base. Lin Moyu looked at Zhu Qiwu.
What do you need from me, senior?
Zhu Qiwu took out a formation disc, activated it in the starry sky, and it transformed into a sizable teleportation array. Zhu Qiwu stepped into the teleportation array and said solemnly,
"Come in."
Zhu Qiwu's expression was serious, indicating that this was indeed important. Lin Moyu didn't waste words and swiftly entered the teleportation array. The array activated, taking them to an unknown part of the starry sky. The teleportation distance was quite far, taking a considerable amount of time. When Lin Moyu's vision cleared, he found himself in complete darkness, unable to see anything. With his eyesight, he shouldn't be unable to see in the dark. But here, he couldn't see a thing. He could sense Zhu Qiwu beside him but couldn't see him. It was beyond the description of
pitch black.
It felt as if all light had vanished. Suppressing a slight discomfort, Lin Moyu asked,
Senior, where are we?
Zhu Qiwu replied,
Feel it.
Lin Moyu tried to sense his surroundings but found nothing. However, he did feel an invisible force enveloping him. Beyond this force, he sensed danger. Zhu Qiwu said,
Someone wants to see you and will ask you some questions. Just answer truthfully. Also, remember to forget everything that happens today and don't mention it to anyone.
He trusted that Lin Moyu understood his words without needing further explanation. Lin Moyu nodded to show his understanding. It seemed that the person he was about to meet was someone of great importance, likely with a higher status than Zhu Qiwu. Such a person, Lin Moyu didn't need to guess, must be from the Divine City. Zhu Qiwu was already at the pinnacle of the Vermilion Bird Star region. Anyone more powerful than him could only be from the Divine City. Moreover, their status in the Divine City wouldn't be low. No, it should be very high. They were the true high-ranking members of the human race. Lin Moyu had met people from the Divine City before, like Su Jianxing and Qing Jian Daoist. They were clearly not as powerful as Zhu Qiwu. Lin Moyu didn't think much about it. He was just curious about his current environment. He couldn't see. All light had disappeared, and it was extremely dangerous. Considering these points, Lin Moyu suddenly thought of a possibility. He asked softly,
Senior, are we in a black hole? Smart kid.
A crisp, cheerful voice rang out, and light suddenly appeared in the darkness. A figure appeared before Lin Moyu, a middle-aged man in a green robe, dressed in traditional human attire. His appearance was ordinary with a gentle smile, looking like a kind person. But Lin Moyu knew this person was extremely terrifying. In a black hole, he could make himself glow and illuminate the surroundings. Such a person was truly frightening. Lin Moyu respectfully greeted him.
Lin Moyu greets Senior.
The man waved his hand, his smile warm, and his voice gentle.
No need to be nervous. Just tell me what you saw and obtained in the manor.
What you saw and obtained. If it were ordinary things, Zhu Qiwu would have already reported them. Since he was asking, the answers must not be ordinary. Moreover, this person likely knew something about the manor, perhaps even the reason for its appearance. The high-ranking members of the human race had access to far more information than ordinary people. Lin Moyu's thoughts raced, and he quickly understood the situation. Clearly, the answers he sought were deeper. Lin Moyu took out the box he had obtained.
I got this.
The middle-aged man smiled as he took the box, a glint of light flashing in his eyes.
As expected, it's a time stone.
The time stone? Lin Moyu had never heard of such a thing. But anything related to time must be a high-end material. The middle-aged man kindly explained.
A time stone is a material containing the laws of time, one of the top-tier materials. Items made from it can exhibit some time-related properties. For example, stopping time.
The man's voice was gentle and slow, like a mountain stream, calming those who listened. Lin Moyu finally understood why the words on the beast skin manual remained fresh despite the passage of time. It was all thanks to the time stone which halted the flow of time. The middle-aged man opened the box and took out the beast skin. Lin Moyu had placed the beast skin he found on the human corpses and in the study, along with the beast skin manual, inside the box. He hadn't included the coffin of slumber and the beast skin will. The person in the coffin of slumber was suspected to be the Skeleton King. Especially after obtaining the skeleton throne, Lin Moyu felt a connection and didn't hand it over. The middle-aged man examined the beast skin and said,
Indeed, it's the skin of a primordial beast, written in ancient script.
He glanced at Lin Moyu.
Did you read the contents?
Lin Moyu admitted openly.
Yes, I did.
The man nodded and began reading the beast's skin. After reading, he muttered to himself,
The information has increased a bit. Young man, what do you think is written here?
Lin Moyu shook his head.
I'm not entirely sure. It seems to be a record of the battle back then. One piece of beast skin was found on the way, likely written by the attackers. The other piece was found in a study, probably written by the castle's owner. The handwriting is messy, suggesting it was written in haste during the battle. As for the manual, I couldn't understand it. The dates and place names were unfamiliar to me.
1180, Chapter 1180. The Origin of the Battlefield, Chaotic Rules. The middle-aged man, radiating a faint glow, smiled warmly.
Don't mention this to anyone.
His voice remained calm, as gentle as a stream, yet it carried an undeniable authority that Lin Moyu couldn't ignore. Felt like a command, one that Lin Moyu had to obey. For the middle-aged man, it might have been a casual remark, but his position was so high that even his casual words carried immense weight. Lin Moyu nodded slightly, indicating he understood the rules. The middle-aged man's meaning was clear. It was best if Lin Moyu didn't understand. Throughout the entire process, Lin Moyu felt the middle-aged man was watching him closely. If he lied, the man would surely see through it. So Lin Moyu spoke the truth, though he didn't reveal everything. He truly didn't understand the dates or the names on the beast's skin. He guessed they were place names from that era, different from the current ones. The middle-aged man seemed satisfied with Lin Moyu's answer, smiling as he put away the box made from the time stone, along with the beast's skin inside. Lin Moyu noticed that the middle-aged man didn't use any storage tools. Unlike others, he couldn't help but wonder if the man had his own personal storage space. This was the first time Lin Moyu had seen someone in the great world who could store items without using any tools. The middle-aged man continued to ask,
What do you think of the castle? And what are your thoughts on the great battle back then?
What do I think? Of course, I used my eyes to see. Lin Moyu thought this to himself but replied calmly.
The castle is very sturdy. I tried, but I couldn't shake it. There are battle marks on the castle, and they seem very old. I think the battle back then was very intense, and the participants were very powerful, at least stronger than me. The entire manor felt like a playground to me. The tests we went through felt more like games.
The middle-aged man's eyes showed interest.
Oh? Why do you say that?
Lin Moyu recounted his experiences. Since he was the only one who crossed the grassland and entered the manor, his experiences were different from others. As he spoke, Lin Moyu also thought about some things. He didn't believe the middle-aged man hadn't received Li Yuanbai's report. The experiences in the hall, the game of cops and robbers, and even the toys in Wang Xing's hands, the man should know all of this. With his intelligence, how could he not deduce that the manor was a playground? But since he wanted to hear it from Lin Moyu told him. Lin Moyu attributed his success in crossing the grassland mostly to his physical body and partly to his summoning spells. This was the truth. It was indeed the case. The middle-aged man didn't interrupt Lin Moyu. After listening to everything, his eyes showed even more satisfaction.
You obtained many toys, right? Can you show them to me?
The middle-aged man asked calmly. Lin Moyu didn't dare refuse and immediately took out a dozen toys, handing them to the middle-aged man. The middle-aged man examined them briefly, showing a hint of surprise.
Can I borrow these for a while?
Lin Moyu quickly replied,
Please take them.
The middle-aged man didn't hesitate, putting away the toys and showing a hint of appreciation in his eyes.
You are very capable.
Lin Moyu humbly replied,
You flatter me. I just did what I had to do.
As he spoke, Lin Moyu clearly felt a slight fluctuation in Zhu Qiwu's aura beside him. A single word from the middle-aged man could cause Zhu Qiwu's aura to fluctuate. This was not the Zhu Qiwu Lin Moyu knew. It was just a simple compliment. Was it necessary? Lin Moyu was slightly surprised. He knew that for Zhu Qiwu to react this way, the middle-aged man's status must be extraordinary. Or perhaps the middle-aged man rarely praised others. So a rare compliment caused Zhu Qiwu's reaction. Since the middle-aged man appeared, Zhu Qiwu hadn't spoken a word, standing quietly like a piece of wood. Lin Moyu felt that Zhu Qiwu was extremely obedient in front of the middle-aged man. The middle-aged man glanced at Lin Moyu again.
You may leave now. Yes.
Zhu Qiwu finally moved, bowing respectfully to the middle-aged man. His eyes showed respect, and Lin Moyu even saw a hint of reverence. This was the first time Lin Moyu had seen Zhu Qiwu like this. Lin Moyu also bowed to the middle-aged man.
I take my leave.
The middle-aged man waved his hand casually. Lin Moyu felt the world change, the scene becoming fragmented and then quickly reassembling. The familiar starry sky reappeared before his eyes, with the light from distant stars bringing a faint brightness. Lin Moyu's chest heaved as he let out a long breath. The middle-aged man's authority was overwhelming. No matter how kind his expression was, the authority he carried was undeniable. Just a slight hint of it was enough to overwhelm an ordinary true god. Even Zhu Qiwu, at the peak of God Sovereign, was as obedient as a quail. Zhu Qiwu's chest also heaved, and he let out a long breath, a stream of white smoke stretching across the starry sky for hundreds of kilometers. Clearly, even Zhu Qiwu was very tense. Lin Moyu tentatively asked,
Senior Zhu, who was that senior just now?
Zhu Qiwu coughed lightly.
A very important person.
A very important person? Who didn't know that? Clearly, Zhu Qiwu didn't want to tell him, so Lin Moyu didn't press further. Instead, he asked,
Senior, is there something wrong with the manor?
Zhu Qiwu pondered for a moment before saying,
It might be related to some ancient secrets. I'm not entirely sure either.
Ancient secrets? How ancient could they be? Lin Moyu showed a curious expression.
With your status, you must know more than I do.
Although Zhu Qiwu usually seemed stern, once he started talking, he could be quite chatty, even joking around. Zhu Qiwu said,
I do know some things, but they are mostly trivial.
Seeing that Zhu Qiwu didn't refuse to talk about it, Lin Moyu knew there was hope. He immediately pressed on.
Tell me about it.
Zhu Qiwu said,
It's actually quite simple. The origin of the battlefield is related to chaotic rules. Long ago, the battlefield area was a lush starry sky. Later, chaotic rules appeared, swallowing the entire starry sky. After that, some chaotic areas emerged. These areas had chaotic laws, posing dangers even to God's sovereigns. Over time, these chaotic areas gradually stabilized, forming special regions. The stellar fire cluster you visited is one of them. There are many similar regions on the battlefield. Even the same type of stellar fire cluster exists in multiple places. But not all chaos can stabilize. There are always exceptions. The manor that appeared this time, and some special places that appeared before, are such exceptions.
1181, 1181. Chapter 1181. If I could master the law of time. Zhu Qiwu's chatterbox was indeed opened. Lin Moyu. He began to talk endlessly, almost saying everything he knew. He also added his own understanding. At this moment, he seemed to regard Lin Moyu as one of his own. But Lin Moyu knew very well that if he thought Zhu Qiwu would tell him everything, he would be gravely mistaken. Zhu Qiwu was not the kind of person who would speak without restraint. On the contrary, he was very clear about what should be said and what should not be said. What he said was actually information that the public already knew. If Lin Moyu were a bit stronger, had higher authority, and was willing to spend some time, he could have learned this information himself. Zhu Qiwu was just telling Lin Moyu in advance. Nothing more. However, what he said made Lin Moyu realize the essence of the battlefield. The battlefield was actually formed around special areas. After the chaotic laws stabilized, some special areas appeared here. These areas continuously produced various materials. All races sought these materials, so after countless years of confrontation, the current situation was formed. As for chaotic places like the manor that occasionally appeared, Zhu Qiwu indeed did not know much. There were too many involved, and the level was too high. Zhu Qiwu told Lin Moyu that even if he knew, it would be of no use. With Zhu Qiwu's status and strength, he could not know the information. Lin Moyu did not want to delve into it either. Without enough strength, participating in such matters was no different from seeking death. Zhu Qiwu patted Lin Moyu on the shoulder.
You have made a contribution this time. You should receive a lot of rewards.
Lin Moyu asked.
What rewards?
Zhu Qiwu shook his head.
How would I know? You will see for yourself when you go back. Anyway, that person has spoken. Your rewards will not be few.
The person Zhu Qiwu referred to was the middle-aged man in the black hole just now. That man was unfathomable, a true high-ranking member of the human race. His words were more effective than Zhu Qiwu's 10 or 100 words. In the dark, starry sky, a manor shrouded in green, looking lush and verdant, hung there in a strange manner. The manor looked full of life, but only those who had been inside knew it was full of killing intent. The human military had already ordered that no one was allowed to enter. But other races still had people going in. They did not have enough information to make an accurate judgment. Most of the people who went in died inside, becoming cannon fodder. Li Yuanbai had a smile on his face. The more enemies died, the happier he was. Wang Xing beside him said,
If it weren't for Lin Xiaoyu, we wouldn't know how many more people would have died.
Li Yuanbai lauga.
Yes, thanks to Lin Xiaoyu, many people were saved.
The manor had appeared for only 10 days, and more than 1,600 people had already died. And more people were still coming, one after another. The Human Emperor Network predicted that the manor's appearance would last about 300 days. In 300 days, many people would go in and more would die. Li Yuanbai looked at the manor.
By the way, do you think Lin Xiaoyu might be hiding something?
Wang Xing glared at Li Yuanbai.
Old Li, what nonsense are you talking about?
Lin Moyu had saved his life. Although he was friends with Li Yuanbai, he would not allow him to speak casually about his savior.
Li Yuanbai lauga.
I was just saying, even if he is hiding something, it's normal. Who doesn't have some secrets?
Wang Xing stopped talking. He did not deny that what Li Yuanbai said made some sense. But he did not like to hear it. In the dark, starry sky, 1,000,000 kilometers away from the manor, a hazy figure stood there. His presence absorbed all the light, making the distant starry sky dim. Any light passing by him would be absorbed and disappear. Not just light, all laws and energy fluctuations were the same. No one could detect his presence. Even if a god passed by him, they would not notice. If Lin Moyu were here, he might be able to see him through the perspective of the undead and recognize him as the middle-aged man who had contacted him in the black hole. The middle-aged man looked at the manor. In his sight, the manor appeared differently. He saw through the appearance and saw the essence, the death aura surrounding the manor. At this moment, the death aura had become unstable and was fluctuating violently. Looking at it, it was like unpredictable clouds, and a storm might break out in the next second.
Sure enough, it has become unstable. It seems this chaos will end in a few days. Is it because the time stone was taken? What exactly happened in ancient times? What is the root cause of the human race's break? Even with so much information, I still can't deduce what happened back then. The law of time. If I could master the law of time, maybe I could know.
The middle-aged man's words were full of countless questions. Finally, his figure gradually disappeared. Lin Moyu was sent back to Fortress Number 1 by Zhu Qiwu. As soon as he returned to Fortress Number 1, he immediately received a message from the Human Emperor Network. For saving compatriots, reward military merit, 500. For providing effective information and avoiding significant human losses, reward military merit, 1,000. Contribution, 1 point. For providing top-secret information and making contributions to the human race, reward military merit, 2,000. Contribution, 1 point. 3 rewards popped up in a row. and Lin Moyu couldn't help but smile. He had received a total of 3,500 military merits, which was not a small amount. In his last mission, he had killed so many enemies and only received 2,300 military merits. Now, just one trip to the manor had earned him 3,000 military merits. The key was the 2 contribution points. Although he didn't know what the contribution points were for, they must be very useful and more valuable than military merits. Points were in the tens or hundreds of thousands, and military merits were in the hundreds or thousands, but contribution points were just 1 or 2. Rarity made them valuable, so it was not hard to imagine how useful contribution points were. After receiving the military merits and contribution points, Lin Moyu checked his information on the Human Emperor Network. Lin Moyu, Glory 8th rank warrior. Age, 32. Level, True God 5th rank. Soul, 4th grade peak. Potential evaluation, legendary. Highest authority, level 4. Comprehensive strength, God King 4th rank. Points, military merits, 8,010. Contribution points, 3. Mastered laws, Undying Law, Slaughter Law, Thunder Law.
The Human Emperor Network has rated my comprehensive strength at God King 4th rank, probably based on my recent killing of the prison lion.
At that time, Lin Moyu was only at True God 4th rank and had not shown all his strength. Now he was at True God 5th rank and his strength had improved again. According to his estimation, the Skull King was definitely not weaker than God King 5th rank. If he went all out, he could probably kill a God King 5th rank.
With the strength of God King 4th rank, I should be able to get on the strength ranking list.
With a slight smile, Lin Moyu opened the Vermilion Bird Star region ranking list. 1182 1182. Chapter 1182. Handing over the toy, overachieving the task. The 4 major lists, potential list, combat power list, contribution list, and bounty list, of the Vermilion Bird Star region were displayed side by side. Lin Moyu saw his name at the top of the potential list. This was not surprising at all. Lin Moyu had confidence in his potential. Now that he had some understanding of the great world, being rated as having legendary potential was rare throughout history. In his era, no one in the Vermilion Bird Star region could compete with him. Skipping over the potential list, he looked at the combat power list. Previously, his name was not on the combat power list. Even though he had killed many True God Peak and even God King Realm enemies in the 5 to 38 area, he still did not make it onto the combat power list. The Human Emperor Network was not there, so his combat power could not be evaluated. But after beheading the prison lion in Fortress Number 1, Lin Moyu knew he should be on the list. He had said at the time that he would find his name on the combat power list. Sure enough, he found his name on the combat power list.
35th on the Vermilion Bird Star region combat power list.
Lin Moyu said softly, seeing himself ranked 35th. This ranking was not surprising. It was expected. The combat power list ranks all those below the God Sovereign level in the Vermilion Bird Star region, and those with less than level 5 authority. It is very slow to upgrade from level 4 to level 5 authority, requiring a full 1 million points, which necessitates completing numerous tasks and spending a lot of time. Each task's reward is not high. Simple tasks reward only a few thousand points, while difficult tasks reward more but take a long time to complete. Some people spend hundreds or even thousands of years and still may not complete the upgrade. During this process, their strength continues to improve. A few people, when they reach level 5 authority, have already reached God King 4th rank or even 5th rank. Even if they cannot fight across levels, they still possess the combat power of a God King 5th rank. Of course, actual combat is another matter. This includes some who can fight across levels. They might be only God King 3rd rank, but have the combat power of a God King 5th rank. The combat power list evaluates only combat power, not cultivation level. It is rare for someone like Lin Moyu, who is only True God 5th rank, to make it onto the list. Lin Moyu was already satisfied. He casually checked the top-ranked cultivator on the combat power list. The name was Fire Phoenix. and the actual combat power was not displayed. Lin Moyu guessed it should be around God King 6th to 7th rank. Lin Moyu estimated that when he reached True God 7th or 8th rank, he could achieve the top rank on the combat power list. Besides the Human Emperor Network's evaluation of combat power for ranking, there is actually a simpler way to impact the combat power list. That is to challenge the people on the list. As long as you win against someone on the list, you can take their place. Of course, the other party also has the right to refuse the challenge. You cannot challenge them at will. Lin Moyu shifted his attention from the combat power list to the contribution list.
Wow, 3rd place already.
Lin Moyu was slightly surprised. Only 3 contribution points were enough to rank in the top 3. But considering the difficulty of obtaining contribution points, Lin Moyu was not surprised. The difficulty of obtaining contributions is much higher than points and military merits. One must make significant contributions to the human race. This time, he avoided significant human losses, earning 1 contribution point. He also provided top-secret information, which was considered a significant contribution to the human race, earning another 1 contribution point. Lin Moyu guessed that the top-secret information was probably the beast skins. In fact, the information recorded on the beast skins he handed over was of little use. But what was of little use to him might be useful to the higher-ups of the human race. After all, much information needs to be connected together to be useful. Lin Moyu still remembered Zhuang Bai's words about being first on the 3 lists. Being first on the 3 lists would yield a lot of faith power. With the 9-colored Dragon Soul crystal in his possession, he did not need to worry about impurities in the faith power, so the more faith power, the better. After looking at the lists, Lin Moyu thought about what to do next and headed to the task center. On the way, he sent a message to Qian Huang, learning that Qian Huang had already returned. Qian Huang knew that Zhu Qiwu had taken Lin Moyu, so he was not worried about Lin Moyu's safety and left with peace of mind. Originally, Lin Moyu wanted to discuss the classification of Human Emperor tasks with him, but now there was no need. However, Lin Moyu also knew that the tasks assigned to him by the Human Emperor Network were all combat-oriented tasks. This suited his needs perfectly and was the most suitable type of task for him. Entering the task center, many people were handing over tasks. Watching the light of the Human Emperor Network continuously fall, some people expressed joy after completing tasks. Others, due to not meeting task standards, had their rewards deducted and expressed lament. Lin Moyu queued up, slowly moving forward. Half an hour later, it was finally his turn.
May I ask what task you are handing over?
The staff at the counter was very polite. Lin Moyu handed over the battlefield token and calmly said,
Special task, exploring the mysterious manor.
The staff took the token, immediately connected to the Human Emperor Network, and began the verification process. A few seconds later, the staff asked Lin Moyu,
Please provide proof of task completion.
The task required surviving in the manor for more than 3 days, bringing back useful information, or bringing back a task item from the manor. He had not stayed for 3 days, and he seemed to have already provided the information, some of which could not be said here. Lin Moyu asked,
What do others use as proof when handing over this task?
He was certainly not the first to hand over this task, and the battlefield had only one place to hand over tasks, so Lin Moyu guessed the staff would know. This was not a secret, and the staff did not hide it.
Mostly a crystal.
Lin Moyu understood. Since a crystal could be used to complete the task, then a toy should also be acceptable. He took out a toy, a small mirror the size of a baby's fist. It was not very useful, just showing some strange and bizarre images, which Lin Moyu guessed were used to scare people in the game. The staff took the mirror, knowing it was a toy, and looked puzzled.
Are you sure you want to use this to hand over the task?
Lin Moyu nodded.
I'm sure.
The staff did not refuse. Their job was to verify tasks, not to question them. Since Lin Moyu insisted, they did as he asked. Other people's crystals carried a mysterious aura. Even detection spells could not identify what they were, making them look unusual. Unlike Lin Moyu, who handed over a toy to complete the task. A few minutes later, To the staff's surprise, the task verification succeeded. Moreover, when the reward was issued, it shocked the staff.
How is there an extra reward? How is this possible?
The task information displayed in front of him. Overachieved special task. Exploring the mysterious manor. Basic reward. Military merits. Extra reward. Military merits. 1183 1183. Chapter 1183. The first use of contribution points. Under the shocked gaze of the staff, Lin Moyu left the task center. The staff couldn't understand why this toy could receive an extra reward. It was clearly just a toy. Previously, others had only received the basic reward, which already made them very happy. Military merits are precious, which is one of the reasons why many people are attracted to go there one after another. Now Lin Moyu received an extra reward, totaling 100,000 points and 1,000 military merits, which was extremely generous. But Lin Moyu remained calm and indifferent throughout, as if he didn't care about these rewards. This made people very surprised and puzzled. Until Lin Moyu completely disappeared from sight, the staff still hadn't fully recovered. Lin Moyu did not rush to take on a new task. After leaving the task center, he went straight to the trading center. He was carrying a lot of items. He had 20,000 ordinary stellar essence fires and 46 colored essence fires. In addition, there were a lot of spoils of war. Selling these items would also bring a considerable fortune. Originally, he should have dealt with this after returning last time, but then the military merit incident happened, followed by the appearance of the mysterious manor, which delayed the matter. During the trip to the mysterious manor, he gained another batch of spoils of war, which he could handle this time. In the trading center, for every 10,000 points of transaction volume, you can get 1 military merit. It seems like a way to earn military merits, but it's not that easy. Such an obvious loophole couldn't be left open. The spoils of war you obtained and the number of enemies you killed are all recorded in the battlefield token. A slight discrepancy is normal. If the discrepancy is too large, it will be considered that you are exploiting the system, and you will be punished accordingly. A true God Realm person obtaining God King Realm spoils of war would naturally be suspected. At that time, Lin Moyu was like this, a true God Realm person killing a God King, so he was suspected and reported. The military's principle is to rather kill by mistake than let go. This fundamentally prevents the exploitation of the system. Although it cannot be completely prevented, it effectively curbs most of the exploitation.
I hope they don't cause me trouble this time.
Lin Moyu chuckled self-deprecatingly and walked into the trading center. The trading center in the fortress still had a strong military style, with angular facilities and a very simple design. Although it wasn't very exquisite or luxurious, it had a heavy atmosphere. This was the second time he came to the trading center in Fortress Number 1. Because the entire battlefield only had this one trading center, it was very lively here. Many people were operating at the trading counters, either buying or selling. There were also many people waiting around, clearly indicating that the trading counters were full. Lin Moyu did not go to the trading counters. This time, his transaction scale was large, so he had to conduct it in a trading room. He went straight to the central counter and said to the staff,
"Please arrange a trading room for me."
The staff was a woman, wearing a delicate robe, with a graceful figure and beautiful lines. Her appearance was also beautiful. Lin Moyu found that whether it was the trading center in the human star domain or the trading center on the battlefield, they liked to use some women as staff. And they were all beautiful women. The woman looked up at Lin Moyu, her big eyes bright and full of spirit. She was gentle and courteous.
"Hello, sir. There are some conditions to apply for a trading room."
Lin Moyu understood the rules.
"What conditions?"
The woman's voice was clear and cheerful.
"The transaction volume must exceed 1 million points, or your military rank must be a sergeant, or your cultivation level must reach the God King realm."
She introduced the various conditions for applying for a trading room one by one. Either the transaction volume was enough, or the military rank was enough, or the cultivation level was enough. The transaction volume was easy to prove. You just needed to apply for a transaction at the trading counter. If you had valuable items, the trading counter would directly apply for a trading room through the Human Emperor network. Originally, Lin Moyu also thought so, but now the trading counters were full, and there were many people waiting. Lin Moyu didn't want to wait. His military rank was not enough to be a sergeant, so he couldn't apply. He was still a 9th rank warrior, just a bit short. His cultivation level had not reached the God King realm, so that was also not enough. The woman mentioned a few more conditions, but Lin Moyu couldn't meet any of them. At this time, a middle-aged man walked over, laughing.
Young man, many transactions can be completed at the trading counter. There's no need to apply for a trading room.
He then said to the woman,
Yuqing, please apply for a trading room for me. I got some good stuff this time.
Lin Moyu's conversation with Yuqing was not hidden, so others could hear it if they paid attention. Turned out this woman was named Yuqing. Lin Moyu thought of a trader named Yuzhu. Yuqing and Yuzhu seemed to have many similarities, not in appearance but in temperament. Yuqing turned to the middle-aged man.
Senior Liu, please wait a moment.
This middle-aged man named Liu was a god king. He smiled and said,
No rush, no rush.
Lin Moyu could see that he clearly had some interest in Yuqing, but Yuqing didn't seem to have any thoughts about him. However, it is human nature for a gentleman to admire a fair lady. God King Liu smiled and said,
Young man, don't worry. Let Yuqing think about it. Maybe there's a condition that fits. Now the trading counters are full. If you queue up, it will take at least 2 or 3 hours.
Lin Moyu smiled.
Thank you for the reminder, Senior.
He could see that God King Liu had no ill intentions. He had been watching for a long time, just wanting to take the opportunity to talk to Yuqing. Yuqing was still trying to think of a way for Lin Moyu, but unfortunately, none of the conditions satisfied Lin Moyu. She thought of another condition, but it was even more difficult. She said softly,
If you had contribution points, it would be good.
Contribution points? Lin Moyu asked.
Can I directly apply for a trading room by using contribution points?
If using contribution points to apply for a trading room, it would be very uneconomical. Lin Moyu wouldn't do such a short-sighted thing. Yuqing shook her head repeatedly.
No, you don't need to use contribution points. Contribution points are so precious. How could they be wasted on such a thing? I mean, as long as you have contribution points, you can apply for a trading room without using them.
Lin Moyu understood. Contribution points were like a pass. You just needed to show them without using them. Finally, he saw the first use of contribution points. This was easy. Lin Moyu directly handed over his battlefield token.
I have contribution points.
Yuqing's eyes lit up, looking at Lin Moyu in disbelief. Contribution points were hard to obtain. Those who had contribution points had made contributions to the human race and naturally had some privileges. The young man in front of her, clearly so young, with only a true god 5th rank cultivation, actually had contribution points. It was incredible. Not only did Yuqing find it incredible, but even God King Liu found it incredible. Even he didn't have contribution points. How could Lin Moyu, a true god 5th rank, have them? He said kindly,
Young man, contribution points are not easy to obtain. You wouldn't be mistaken, would you?
Lin Moyu found it amusing. How could he, a true god, make such a mistake? 1184 1184. Chapter 1184. Accepting or not accepting the heritage of other races. Yuqing extended her snow-white jade hand and gracefully took the battlefield token to start the inquiry. Lin Moyu's information was in the battlefield token, and it would eventually be displayed through the Human Emperor network. She quickly found Lin Moyu's contribution points, and a look of disbelief appeared on her beautiful face. God King Liu saw this and laughed.
Sister Yuqing, did the little guy make a mistake?
Yuqing looked up at Lin Moyu, her eyes filled with curiosity and astonishment. A very complex expression.
I will apply for a trading room for you right away. Please wait a moment.
Yuqing's tone changed, becoming more respectful. and she returned the battlefield token to Lin Moyu with both hands, a gesture full of implied meaning. Lin Moyu nodded slightly.
Thank you.
He stood aside, not in a hurry. God King Lu watched this and had already guessed that Lin Moyu had contribution points. This piqued his interest. A true God 5th rank cultivator with contribution points made Lin Moyu's image more mysterious. The efficiency of the trading center was very high, and soon someone came to take Lin Moyu to the trading room. After Lin Moyu left, Yuqing let out a long sigh of relief, patting her chest.
Thank goodness.
Although Yuqing's cultivation level was higher than Lin Moyu's, it was best not to offend someone with contribution points. Fortunately, she had been polite and helpful to Lin Moyu. God King Lu lowered his voice.
That kid really has contribution points, huh?
Yuqing nodded.
And not just 1 point.
God King Lu was shocked.
More than 1 point? What's his name?
Yuqing whispered.
Lin Moyu.
God King Lu seemed to have heard this name somewhere before. He quickly opened the Vermilion Bird Star region's contribution list and found Lin Moyu's name. Then he found Lin Moyu's name on several other lists.
First on the potential list, 35th on the combat power list, and 3rd on the contribution list. His.
God King Lu gasped. Just being 35th on the combat power list was astonishing enough. He himself was a God King 2nd rank and had no ability to fight across levels, so he wasn't even on the combat power list. Lin Moyu being 35th meant his combat power had completely surpassed his own. A little guy at True God 5th rank was actually stronger than him. God King Lu found it unbelievable. At this moment, a soft exclamation interrupted his thoughts. Yuqing covered her mouth, her bright eyes wide open.
I know who he is. A few days ago, someone received a military honor title. That person was named Lin Moyu. At that time, he was suspected by the military of farming military merits because he had killed many True God Peak and God King enemies. But he proved himself by instantly killing the God King's 2nd rank star beast, the prison lion.
God King Lu happened to be away from Fortress Number 1 at that time, but he had heard about it. He didn't expect it to be the young man he had just seen. Yuqing covered her mouth.
Oh no, I shouldn't have leaked his information. You mustn't tell anyone, or he won't talk to you anymore.
God King Lu chuckled.
You know me, I keep secrets well, don't worry.
He chatted with Yuqing for a while longer until someone else came, and then he left. Passing through the trading center's hall and a not-so-long corridor, Lin Moyu saw a beautifully decorated indoor garden. The garden was lush with greenery, and the flowers emitted a charming fragrance. Above the garden, a formation slowly rotated, casting light and warmth. In this star fortress, dominated by black and gray tones and exuding a chilling atmosphere with the purpose of war, such a different area made Lin Moyu feel a bit surprised.
It seems the person in charge of the trading center also loves beauty.
Although he didn't know much about flowers and plants, he knew a bit. Gentlemen love bamboo, and ladies love flowers. There was no bamboo in this garden, only flowers, and the garden's layout was carefully designed, suggesting a flower-loving lady. In the garden, several pavilions stood. The pavilions were exquisite and beautiful, with intricate carvings. A formation's light enveloped the pavilions, making it impossible to see inside. Lin Moyu knew that these pavilions were the trading rooms. A quick glance showed that there were 10 pavilions in the garden, meaning 10 trading rooms. 6 of them were occupied with transactions taking place and 4 were empty. In one of the empty pavilions, a trader was brewing tea, seemingly waiting for a distinguished guest. Lin Moyu walked in, and the formation in the pavilion slowly rotated, casting a light screen that obscured the view. The tea fragrance was blocked by the formation, becoming more intense. Lin Moyu looked at the tea-brewing lady and smiled slightly.
What a coincidence.
Yuju smiled sweetly at Lin Moyu.
Mr. Lin, we meet again.
It was indeed a coincidence. The lady hosting the transaction was Yuju from the 10 to 1-star trading center. Last time he saw Yuju, she was dressed very maturely, exuding a mature charm. But this time, Yuju's attire was much more lively, still with a hint of maturity but more vivacious. Yuju poured a cup of fragrant tea for Lin Moyu.
Mr. Lin, please have some tea.
Lin Moyu smiled and sat down, taking the teacup and smelling the fragrance.
Why are you here?
He remembered that in the 10 to 1-star trading center, Yuju's status was higher than that of ordinary traders. Not knowing the personnel structure of the trading center, Lin Moyu didn't know Yuju's exact position. Yuju smiled warmly.
Our traders in the trading center are not fixed in one place. We often move around, and this time it happened to be my turn here.
Lin Moyu raised an eyebrow.
But your status?
Yuju laughed.
Mr. Lin, you're joking? I have no special status. I'm just an ordinary trader.
Lin Moyu scrutinized Yuju. He could tell she was not an ordinary trader. He had dealt with several traders, and none of them had her demeanor and behavior. But since Yuju didn't want to say, Lin Moyu wouldn't press. He was just here to trade, and Yuju's status didn't matter. Getting to the point, Lin Moyu finished his tea and said in a deep voice,
The items for this trade might be a bit miscellaneous. I wonder if the trading center accepts the heritage of other races.
The heritage of other races. Yuju was stunned for a moment, then laughed.
Mr. Lin, you mean the spoils of war from killing other races, right? That's right.
Yuju squinted her eyes.
Of course, we accept them. No matter what the items are, we can make use of them. Good, let's begin.
Lin Moyu said, starting to take out items, using a ring on his finger as a cover. But he was actually taking items directly from his storage space. He had recently killed many other races, and the spoils of war were all stored in his storage space. Fortunately, those guys all had storage tools, so they didn't take up too much space. Otherwise, Lin Moyu estimated his storage space wouldn't be enough. In his storage space, the largest area was occupied by raw materials from exploded corpses, all of which were from the God King realm. Now Lin Moyu no longer cared about true God realm corpses. He didn't even need the skeleton God general to act. Just the bone dragon was enough to sweep through the true God realm. Even the corpses of God King 1st and 2nd rank were few, as their power was too small for Lin Moyu to care about. It was better to let the skeleton God general finish them with one sword. 1185.